on how to let the system run through you. Many people, they go to universities. The university system never went through them and they graduated. Whatever number of years they have gone through, you can't see evidence of the education they have gone through in the university. I know today, by the end of this lecture, you take decisions that will help you. By the time you are graduating, you graduated with flying colors and fulfillment by the grace of God. You see, wonderfully, when when we were singing the anthem, particularly Oyo State anthem, the university anthem, I just came up with an acronym of Atiba University. The A there is advancement. The T there is truthfulness. You are advancing with truthfulness, and R, industry. If you are advancing, you must be industrious. And then the B there, you must be bold. You are not brought to this university to live a timid life. Anywhere you go, you cringe, you close your eyes, you can't interact with your colleagues from other universities within Nigeria and outside. I believe by the time you finish from Atiba, you'll be bold globally. As last letter A, as you are accomplishing. I thought we applaud that. Now, what is a balanced education? Anonymously, it was described as educational balance that has been described, that is the ideal that educational organizations like a university, somebody says educational balance is the ideal, for example, that a university and the people who are you as students, those who are your senior colleagues, those of you who are here and those who will still come, who receive education equal treatment in educational activities under the thought of fair education and principle of educational equity. I look at that global description as not complete. It is highly coded, but to me, it's not complete. And I'm presenting to this august audience today what I take as educational balance. What it means is, number one, there will be impartation of knowledge. If knowledge is imparted, there must be acquisition of the knowledge that is imparted. That initial definition or description is limited to that. Those who impart knowledge and those who acquire knowledge, they are placed on equality because they are human beings. But that doesn't make educational a balanced status. We have to talk of the moral and spiritual aspect before we can say education is balanced. Look at what Martin Luther King Jr. said, and I quote him, that the function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character. That is the goal of true education. You are intelligent, but you have character. I hope you are following me. There are many intelligent people that don't have character. If intelligence means a balanced education, you attend lectures, whatever department you have taken your lectures and you graduate, but your life, even within the four walls of the university and outside, comes with question mark. It doesn't really make sense. And by the way, as has been done in this university and other universities, during convocation, the conferment of degrees implies that in character and learning, you are awarded a degree. Am I right? They didn't say in learning alone. If it is learning, we will train all of you to become first-class holders. But beyond first class, you must add character to it. Because what does it matter, for example? If somebody graduates with a first class and he did that examination with examination misconduct or malpractice, as I look at the audience before me, in fact, I almost tempted to ask the Vice Chancellor that, is the university here meant for female only? I hope I'm right. Are there young men here? Young men like me, can you stand or identify with me, please? Those of you are men. Don't worry, you are timid because you are boys. You will grow to be men. Thank you very much. Be seated. You see, if you have first class, let me talk to you girls. You have first class, and your first class is based on immorality. You don't have character, your education is not balanced. Even though you have a very good degree, your character doesn't worth it. Young men, your own. I beg you, sir, and you are giving envelope to lecturer, hey, give me mark, and you are contributing. As a class, let's contribute. Let's buy wine. Let's buy a bag of rice or beans for our lecturer to give us marks. You will get the marks, but your education is not balanced because there's no character in it. That's what Martin Luther King is talking about. Now, Billy Graham said, to know the importance of a balanced education that is more than academic impartation or acquisition of knowledge. He said, and I quote him, when wealth is lost, nothing is lost. You know why? You will have learned in life. Many people bought vehicles for one reason or the other, either carelessly by their own selves or carelessness from other road users. They have accidents and their vehicles are written off. That's a wealth. But as long as that individual, who is the owner of the vehicle, did not die in the accident, there is still hope. Am I right? When there is life, there's what? So when wealth is lost, you have not lost anything because you can sit up and start all over. But when your health is lost, you have lost something. That's why in the process of your 4 years or number of years you spend here, you need sound health, good health, to be able to acquire the knowledge that will be imparted to you. And the educators, our lecturers, they need good health to be able to drive in the required knowledge that will give you a balanced education. But he said above all, that when character is lost, all is lost. That man is very rich, but he embezzled. That birth had destroyed his riches. Am I right? That man is very social, but he chases women all about. Along the corridor of your campus here, meticulously, I was trying to acclimatize myself with the environment. I saw many signposts, my examination malpractice, forbidding, sexual harassment, not allowed, this and this, not allowed. That is to drive the balanced education we are talking about, because in the class, you'll be given the knowledge you need. But the skills that will translate to your character, to make you what you ought to be, and advance you in a presentable manner in the world outside, has to be engraved in your system. As young people, you need to know that life was never intended to be easy. Rather, it is a period of proving and growth. It is interwoven with difficulties, challenges, and burdens. The conquering of adversity produces strength of character. It forges self-confidence and engenders respect and assures success in righteous endeavor. That's what Richard Scott said. For balanced education, I want to propose here, I want to advocate what is called outcome-based education. The acronym is OBE. The outcome-based education goes beyond giving you theories in the class, giving you examinations, because the general education today focuses on students attaining good grades. And that's why everybody will do yahoo. You give them assignment without thinking, they will download, Google whatever they want to Google, download so much, copy and paste, and submit the assignment without thinking. They have forgotten that the materials in the internet are materials uploaded by men and women like you. Those who have thought deeply, those who have critical thinking, critical ability to analyze situation. They dump the ideas there. You just like photocopier, you are not thinking. You are not analytical. By coming to Atiba University, you are not supposed to live that kind of life. With outcome-based education that I believe the university will drive, you will be trained to acquire problem-solving skill, analytical skill, technical skill, detail-oriented skill, leadership skill, teamwork skill, communication skill, organizational skill, strategy skill, and many, many more. And many more. I believe I've said privately that my lecture that is given now, after this place, I'll make it available to be copied. I have the soft copy. If the university management want to send it to emails of staff and students, please, you are free to do it, sir. Now, if the university is ready to give you a balanced education, you must know this, that the capacity to learn is a gift. And for the fact that you are alive, you finish primary school, secondary school, you did JAMB, and you are here, that ability is a gift that God has given you. But the ability to learn is a skill. That's why you see during JAMB, many people score 300 and above. Some of your colleagues, they struggled to manage. They couldn't reach the minimum 20 or maybe 180 that will admit you to the university. So they didn't get the skill. But above all, the willingness to learn is a choice. No matter how good the curriculum of the university is, if you are not willing to learn, there's nothing that can be done. You can force a horse to the river, but to make it to drink water is difficult. So the drivers of the balanced education, I want to talk to my colleagues and possibly to the management of the university. Modern educators have a very great challenge to provide and sustain a balanced education today, because the trainees, the learners, have different backgrounds and abilities. Education begins from the cradle, the moment a child is born. That's where education begins. A child that is still sucking breast, you cannot put biro and pencil or paper in his or her hand to begin to write ABC. No. But how a child, a baby will smile, respond to environment. That is a kind of informal training. Formal has to do with sit down in the class, maybe with a teacher with a cane in the hand, don't make noise, do this or do that. Right from the cradle, from the time you are born in your homes, your education has begun. But today, there is a lack of proper child training in our families, not only in Africa. It's a global problem. Parents spend their lives to make ends meet at the expense of building the destinies of their children. Our educators may discover that many of the students who are admitted into Atiba University are unfortunate that their parents never had enough time for their informal education at home. I don't know, but don't raise up your hand. Many of you here, maybe you are brought up by what we call house helps. Somebody lived with us in our family before. He came from Lagos. We went to work. We left him at home. By the time we came back, he said, Mommy, me fry egg. You fried the egg? How did you do it? I put water inside fry pan to fry egg. Are you laughing? You can laugh. If I point at you here, do you know how to cook? Can you cook? Let it not be that you can't even wash plates, you can't sweep your environment. It's part of informal training. On the campus here, I've not stayed for long to see the character, the conduct of students of this university. Whether there's respect for lecturers or even visitors, I don't know. But it has to have started from home. But unfortunately, our homes are failing. That's why C.S. Lewis stated, the task of modern educator is not to cut down jungles, but to irrigate deserts. Many people admitted to the university today, they appear as deserts. They are very dry. They don't have soft skills in their lives. Morally, many are empty. So it is when they get to the university that has the concept that I'm driving now, that they begin to water their lives until the rich green environment can come up. Let's listen to a story that I gathered from the internet when I was preparing my lecture. In a recent study conducted with over 3,000 students in 48 schools across England, North Africa now, a new course was introduced to push students to discussion-based curriculum. They want students to be part of the derivation of the curriculum. And what did they do? They incorporated concepts such as truth. How can you be a student and be truthful? Look up here, my beloved young men and women. I hope you didn't do it. I remember some years ago, one boy in secondary school looked at me very well. If this one illustrated what you did. He went home because he didn't learn the concept of truthfulness. He went to tell his parents, Daddy and Mommy, as I will be going back to school when we resume second term, they asked us to buy some textbook. One of them is bio, the other one is logi. And he wants to buy a textbook on biology. And he collected money for bio and money for logi to buy one book, biology. Is that truthfulness? So in that school, they told them to think about truthfulness, justice, knowledge, with significant time used for silent reflection and generating good questions. Eventually, students began learning how to build good thoughts and ideas. This story aligns with the remarks of Abdul Kalam, that says the purpose of education is to make good human beings with skill and expertise. Enlightened human beings can be created by teachers. It is a privilege, therefore, and a big challenge to be a teacher. According to Sidney Hook, everyone remembers his own education, remembers teachers, not methods and techniques. The teacher is the heart of the educational system. I ask myself and my colleagues, what kind of teachers are we and do we want to become? Now, I want to believe my young men and women, most of your parents and guardians are witnessing this occasion today. Permit me very briefly to talk to the parents and guardians. And I want to first and foremost congratulate all our parents and guardians who are here this morning on the results of your sacrifices thus far. You are not done yet as parents. Your work is still on. You have the responsibility of supporting the training on the university campus at home. Let your children have the competitive soft skills by your examples at home. Have you ever considered, I'm talking to parents now, have you ever considered why God started human beings to begin in the family? Isn't it possible for God to create human beings like he did Adam in the middle of everywhere around the world in jungles? No, now, here is the reason why every life begins in the home, and that is to ensure every one of us goes under mentorship and we are shown love and direction for life. So parents, please support the training these young ones will receive at Atiba University with your examples at home. Deposit yourself in the life of your children. The home, which should be the surest and safest school of life to young people, has been severely abused by the enemy. Today, homes are gradually becoming devil's slaughter lab for destiny and purpose. The priority of the homes has been shifted from love and partnership to fight for superiority and fame. It is turning to the battlefield where the smartest and sweetest get the best of the other instead of giving the best to the other. That is about educators. Your teachers, the management, the staff in the university here are the educators. Back at home, your parents and guardians are educators of the balanced education. Now, the demands on you. The demands on you. Everybody say, the demands on me. You are not saying it convincingly. Say it as if you believe it and you will take it. Great. Abigail Adams, a woman, said, learning is not attained by chance. See, you know that thing draft they play with Ludo they call it. They put something with a cube, have 6 faces, 1, 2, 3 to 6, and point and this 6, this 2. Education is not playing kalo at all. It's not a draft game. It is a matter of seriousness and business. Education must be sought for with ardor, with rigor, and with intelligence. Distinguished men and ladies, you must face your studies with all diligence because your mind, listen to this, your mind is not a vessel to be filled. If you take your mind as a vessel, all kinds of dirty things will drop there and become a lake. You know lake? It's a standing water that does not flow. With short a little time, it will be issuing odors. Am I right? Our minds are not vessels to be filled, but a fire to be ignited. That's why you are very young. I don't know how many of you are up to 20 and a little about 20 years. Majority of you, if you are just being admitted and you are being matriculated today, it should be between 16 and 20. The things Your mind, very tender, very active. And Atiba University has the firelight to set your mind ablaze for a better life. A life that has no equal. A life that is uncommon. A life that is competitive and marketable nationally and globally. Be ready to do something. And to do that, the talent God has given you, every human being, including myself, we are highly talented. But we don't maximize our talents. How do you maximize your talent? You activate it by initiative. Direct it by your focus. Energize it by your passion. Expand your talent by being teachable. Influence your talent by relationship. If you work with lazy people, you will bury your talent. I read a story somewhere that some people were giving talent. Someone was giving 5, another was giving 2, and one was giving only 1. The person giving 5, he did more through initiative. He multiplied his talents more, added 5 to make 10. The other one with 2 added 2. The other one with 1 because of lack of passion, no initiative, no focus. He just went and buried it as if the talent will grow. Talent doesn't grow when you bury. Talent will grow when you expand it through teachableness. You are taught, you learn, and you do something about it. And you relate with people who will challenge you. When you start lectures now, maybe you started already, don't have relationship with anybody that when you are giving an assignment, maybe over 20, and the teacher comes the following day or week to give you your scripts, and is calling a class of 50. In this class, out of 50, 5 of you got 20. Everybody will clap hand. Some of you, unfortunately, I have about 10 who score less than 5. And maybe you are one of those, and you went around to see somebody you think is the king in the class, and he scored 12. Say, oh, and my own is 7. If this person scored 12 and my own is 7, I think I've tried. You have not tried. You don't have focus. And somebody is coming to your room and say, why are you down? It's because that assignment I read, I didn't sleep, I got 7/20. And he laughed. He said, you even try, my own is 5. I said, thank you. I'm sorry for you. If that is your friend, you must start a different way today. Say you will start differently today. Why must you start differently today? Because you are special. Say to yourself, I am special. I go to decision you must take if you must profit. Decision to profit in a balanced education. The most powerful deed of life is decision. From the other end, the most regressive action in life is indecision. Every life is made or marred between those two powerful words. But you cannot make informed decisions without a clear purpose. Here is what you can do. I want to use the word purpose to tell you what you must do. Number 1, P, put your life in a proper perspective. Some people, look at me here. They worry so much about the situation in Nigeria that they are paralyzed. They can't think reasonably again. In the first place, you are here. Until God makes a way for you, make the better use of what is available today. Live about why you are in Nigeria. You didn't make the choice. Nobody here, none of you, including myself, I didn't make a choice of who my father and mother should be, whether they should give birth to me in Nigeria or in America. I had no choice. But I found myself in Nigeria, and I needed to do something about my situation in Nigeria. That's why, by the grace of God, what I am today is by